Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give you some things to think about because you are a brand new Act user or you're just using Act in the cloud for the first time. So, regardless of which situation you're in, let me give you an idea of what you can do to start getting acclimated, pun intended, to the data you're putting into Act and the things you can do with it. The first thing I'd like you to do is this. I want you to grab 10 business cards or information. I don't care if it's on a piece of paper, in a spreadsheet, anything. And I want you to take that and put it in front of you. 10 contacts that are either an existing client or a prospect. Next, I want you to enter each one of those contacts into Act. And as you're entering them, I want you to think about the following things. Think about what is it you want to do with that contact. Now, in sales and marketing, you most likely want to call the person, you want to email the person, and you might want to set a meeting with the person. Now, meetings in this day and age could be an online meeting. It can be, a web meeting, as I just mentioned. It could be an in-person meeting. It could be just a telephone meeting. So meetings mean a lot of things. But if we just for a moment assume that the meeting is the goal, and the goal is to reach out to people by phone and email and set that meeting. Think of that as just the first goal in thinking about the way you use ACT. So let's say that in case is exactly what you've done. Well, now, once you've entered that contact, and to enter a contact, if you don't remember how, you can go up into the top right-hand corner and click on New, and you'll see the screen go blank for a moment, and then all the fields are gone. So we are going to type in a new contact. So bear with me 1 second as I type this in. So now we've got Tom Brady in there. So now what? So now you're done putting this information in. Pick up the phone and call. Call this contact. Then, because I know when you call that contact, one of two things are going to happen. Either you're going to reach the person or you're going to leave them a message. What you should have done beforehand, and I know this is sort of after the fact, but beforehand, I would have wanted you to written 2 emails. The left message email, which will be probably 80% of the time when you call people. You're going to leave a message. So you want to have an email pre-written. Hey, I just left you a message. Here's some information for you about my services. Can we set a time to meet? The next one might be for the 20% of the time when you spoke to the person. Same email, maybe the first couple lines are different. Hey, thank you for speaking to me. Here's some information about my company. I'd like to set a meeting with you. So now we've called and we've prepared in advance 2 emails that we've written. So we've called and we left a message. How do we record that call? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to go up here where it says history and click on that. When you click on that, a box will pop up on your screen and you can record what happened. The call was completed. Now, I know if you left a message, you could say attempted, but I want you to not use that. I always want you to use call completed because technically you did complete the call. You might have either spoken to the person or left a message. Down here in the regarding field, there's really only 2 options. Either you left a message, I'm just going to put an LM, or you spoke to the person, and we can set this up so these are the only 2 options. And if you want to put a note in, you could. Now, I'm going to come over here and click OK. Okay, so we just recorded that we called Tom. Next, I want you to send Tom an email, one of those 2 emails. And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. There's 2 pieces of software that I recommend to go along with ACT. The first one is a tool that works with Microsoft Outlook, and it is called Template Phrases. Template Phrases is approximately $50. It's a one-time purchase, and what it does is when you go to send an email, it will save a template of the left message email and the thanks for speaking to me email. So in other words, you've written it out, you've saved that template, so now when you click on email right here, or you could actually click on the email address. I just think this is easier. I'm going to click on email, and what's going to happen is Microsoft Outlook is going to open up in the background. Over here on the right-hand side is template phrases. So here's one that I've got as a template. Left message, give me a call. Now this isn't what I recommend in this scenario, but all I had to do is double click on this. It filled in the subject line and the body. Over here on the right-hand side is template phrases. Now, the third tool, besides Act, so Act is the first tool, template phrases is the second tool. The third tool I use is something right here called Banana Tag. The way Banana Tag works is once I send an email to Tom, if Tom opens my email, I'm going to get an email back saying, one, Tom opened it. If Tom clicks on any of the links in my email, I'm going to get an email saying Tom clicked on my links. Now maybe it's a link about a product or service. And if he clicks on that, I want to know that because that tells me he expressed interest. Banana Tag is a service that's a yearly service. It's $10 a month, $120 a year, and it is so worth it. I'm a big fan of it. So Act, template phrases, Banana Tag. That gives you the intelligence and the information you need to know what's going on when you send that email. It's allowing your email to, in essence, talk to you, give you feedback, give you information. Even if Tom does nothing but open the email and read it, you'll get an email saying he opened it. So, once I hit send, that email is gone. Now, we are looking at a layout in Act that is set up so that it only gives us limited information. I'm going to come over here to the far right. We have some little dots right over here, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to choose a different layout. A layout is just fields that are in Act. They're fields that will give us additional information. And in this particular layout, I want to draw your attention over here to this field called email. This field called call reach. Now remember when I went up and clicked on history and I recorded a call? It put the date right in here. Now because this is a sample database, I don't have this set up to work the way your database would be designed to work. But what should happen in your database is when you send an email via Outlook, today's date would have gone in to the email field. So let's talk about this for just a minute. When you're using Act, we've done a few things here. One, we've called Tom. We've recorded that we called him. Two, we sent Tom an email. This will record the dates of those actions. Okay, so think about that. Let's jump ahead, and I've been saying let's get 10 contacts in Act. But now let's take a step back. Imagine over time you have 1,000 contacts in Act. And you're sitting there thinking, wow, who do I reach out to? What do I do next? Well, you're going to be able to find contacts that you haven't emailed recently by looking at the email date and finding contacts that, for example, maybe haven't been emailed for 90 days or 180 days, whatever you want to do, whatever your goals are. You can also find all the people you haven't called in a period of time, so you can call them again. So the nature of Act is it tracks what you do so that later on down the road, you can double back and say, wait a minute, who do I have to call today? Who are the people I haven't called in a while? Who are the people I haven't emailed in a while? So when you use Act as a tool, it tracks what you're doing and keeps you on top of things that are relevant. And this is a very simple example of a scenario in which you can use Act as a great sales tool. So I want to show you this. I want to give you a sense of how this could work. And I hope you can take away some ideas from this. Get 10 contacts in Act. Think about them. Call them. Email them. Try to get a meeting. But just see where it goes from there. This is the essence of why people use Act, to do this type of thing and stay on top of it. There are about 25 things you can do to an Act contact. I've gone over just a handful of them. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye now.